Hey, I'm gonna give this a go. This is my sort of a solo run for the limited time agent quest known as Pale Flame of Planetwrecker. So I'm doing this as my usual, hunt detector. My subclass, my EX style is Celeste. I will grab a full sort of build later on once I've finished the run. So that way you guys can see what I'm running with. But some people have done it solo already, but they were kind of you know, it's like, oh, it took me like, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, I think. And I figured, I'm bit, I'm built a little bit differently. I don't mean that as a flex. It's like, I kind of find out what's the meta and go from there with my own style. So we've got the high Balrog. He's back. Oop, there we go. Want to get that to the econ. And hopefully at the end of this run, I get a skill link to drop, actually. And yes, I am playing this. See, this isn't like, a re-record. This is me actually doing this because I'm also testing out my video capture card, which I recently purchased. And, it seems to work all right. Like, it's got pretty decent, you know, quality. It does unfortunately disable my HDR settings, but I'll live with that. It still renders in 4K, which is really nice. And then obviously I've got my music in my laptop in the background recording everything through OBS because I'm learning how to use that as well. So, this is kind of a fun new urgent quest. It's basically a reskin of when Alter Realm first came out. It's set inside the Crimson Realm version of the world with some fancy bosses that hit hard. And this has taken a little bit too long for my liking. There we go. Come on, hit me. Someone gonna shoot me? There we go. Oh, yes, I saw that as well. That was a 200k and it wasn't even critical. So I'll take that. I'd also like to mention, like, kind of sucks how Sega did the skill wings actually, but I'm gonna do a different video that later on. Um, still trying to learn everything about it. Unfortunately, it is RNG based, so there is that. I think I'll just mute the microphone on my controllers. That way, I can use the microphone on my headset, which is plugged into my laptop today. But I don't think my controller was picking anything up anyway. And Sega got rid of the in-game voice anyway, so it should be okay. Should be. Go on, you bastards. Hit me. Like 5 minutes in, but 1.5 minutes in, we're making decent time. Okay, first AI support, that will be Kuka. Kuka Mary. Yes. Of course you run away. I know I should be aiming for the weak point, but considering my damage output, I should be okay. The thing is, with this guy, you got to be careful. Like, he does hit hard. He is a bit in the ass. Have some of that. So it's about half health. That's not too bad. It's only took me a minute. No, you see, yes, I am playing as a hunter. It is always my, you know, it's kind of my bread and butter. I'm so used to it. So I'm hoping to do this without dying once, but there are two enemies later on that aren't exactly gentle. But nope, one of them. Da-da-da. And I might use this in the future for when I'm playing Knights of Azure and Obscure, the other games I've been doing on my channel. 'Cause it's just a whole lot easier. I hate this camera angle. I hate fighting in this cave. Thank God that's done. Right, moving on to Belagan Ruins. Now we're going. Come on, there we go. Now, okay, there's a lot of enemies here. So yeah, I've just switched to my subclasses weapon, Sumi. But these guys are a pain in the ass, and I want to get rid of them as quick as possible. And that includes, getting rid of their stomachs to expose a second weak point, like so. One left. Come here, fat boy. Swap back to me. Now, this is the enemy you got to watch out for. There's two of them, but first we've got to take care of our little friends here first. With the pistol. Missed. Come here, yeah. Over the shoulder. There we go. Boom. That's half the work done. You didn't see me do that. You saw nothing. Choking on my own spit here. Yeah, Sam, maybe. That's 2 minutes in. That's not too bad, actually. And Sam, if you're watching this, I did see your message. I'll think about it. Should put streamer mode on, but what the hell? Come on. I saved my photon blast for the Bushborn. So I know I'll get it back in time, but I didn't know they came back. Where did they go? Aim up. Uh, just get knocked on my ass. Fuck it. Pretty much go in one go. Come here, you bloaty pain in the ass. Come on. Someone's got to hit me. There we go. Good boy. Now to get your ass cut. Okay, who's next? Oh, we've got big giraffe heads over there. Yeah, I'm not putting up with you. And because it's nearly Halloween, yes, I am running with a big scythe camo. I've had it for a couple of years now. And, I'm bringing it out just to be seasonal. So, illness here. I am not dealing with these two. Yeah. So, I've got like two tri shields there. So, what did that heal? Bastard. Some notifications on the laptop. Just deafing me, why don't you? There's another one. Ah, ew. Oh, hello. That's not good. Did I just iron will that? You didn't see that. Man, these are tanky boys. Killed one? Oh, I have killed one. That makes life easier. Just got to fight the other one. Fuck my noodle. Have some extra. Oop, don't need those. Heal up. We're at full. Now, I like this boss. I love this boss. What they've done with Amscavaris and turned him into a Starless. Fucking well done. Let's get serious, boys and girls. What the hell are you doing all the way over there? Thank you. Am I doing? Am I using Mars? You can bollocks. No, it doesn't have a break bar, so I can basically just hit him whenever. But I want to wait when he's. There we go. That'll do. I'll happen. That's what we want. So he's still got armor parts. No, got my extra shields, and now I'm on fire. No, I'm legit on fire. I'm taking damage. There we go. Abuse the twisting zapper. I think I'll get one of these out as well. Ooh, that's a big chunk off his bar. Pardon me. I missed his weak point. Mix it up. Finish him off, shall we? Put him out of his misery. And they'll finish. Nice. So, what prizes did we get? I know Sega's gonna shaft me because Sega hates giving me anything good. So I'm probably guessing some Cleridims and some mats. Let's see what our rewards are. But yeah, this is my solo run. And how long did it take me? It's not a hard agent quest, you've just got to be careful. And there we go, Sega. Being Sega as usual. So, 3 Cleridims, no armor, no skill rings, nothing there, and a whole bunch of mats. At least they kept my Halloween scratch vouchers. Damn it, Sega. So I'll take those, double check the X augments. Not great combinations. I can pull better from the shop. So 21 minutes. I'm a second over, so 21 minutes. Not bad for a solo run. But there we go. That's my solo run, and I'll grab you a quick breakdown shortly. Yeah, I mean, this is the build that I was using for the video, for my run, actually. Um, Hang on, let me just move that out of the way. So I'll put you over here for now. Um, so I've got an upgraded crest, so that's the Zemi Tremor sword. I like to use Tri Shield and bring down PB boost because it's a nice balance between offense and defense. Um, so as we know, I like to play I like to use a Bandak with my sword, Soaring Blades as well, when I'm playing Bounce and Main. Um, so yeah, Grand Gladiator, Lars, we got that lowest health on Al. So as we know, Tri Shield gives me 3 shields. Um, and once the shields have been smashed, they've got a 2 minute cooldown. But obviously I've paired that up with Tri Shield follow, so that gives me a 10% increase to my HP restored when I'm using Rest Assign, and a natural 5% damage resistance. And then finally, it gives me it shortens the cooldown of Tri Shield by 30 seconds. So rather than having to wait 2 minutes, I've only got to wait a minute and a half. And bring down PB boost. Literally, he's down on the ground, kick him in the nads. Straightforward. The wand that I used when I was fighting the Fat Boys and his little friends, it's a blaster level 5, and it's an Einden because it worked for me. It feels better using it. So as we know from the Einden, uh, polish unit ultimate, uh, in, massive potency boost, 5% crit rate, and a constant 10% reduction on PP cost. And then damage resistance of 10%. It increases the photon blast gauge charge speed by 10% while I'm attacking, and I recover 4% HP every 10 seconds. It's a very complex buff. This, like I said, the Zenit is just as good. So bigger potency buff, and then I get a potency buff when potency buff, PP consumption reduction, and um, like that's just natural. When obviously the effect's up, and then photon blast potency when I activate it, an extra 5% there. So that's nice. Rather than having a stupid amounts of cooldown time. For the main effect, I just have to deal 500k damage, and as a hunter, I can do that in like 1 or 2 attacks. Not a big issue. On my armor, yes, I've got Orcus level 4s. So I've got, obviously, I've gone like flat air skull. I've not gone with the lies, Lise, whatever you want to pronounce it as. So I've got HP and PP out for my goddamn eyeballs. Um, So, yep, as per usual, because I use a Bandak, I've had to make sure that I've got like 20 different named augments, which here I'd have. So I've got the Magus Gladiator and then the Grand Gladiator, and I think I had a Grand Gladiator S, I think. Basically, I've just sorted out like, oh, I've got Ready Guard here, I need Ready Death there, and I need Ready Stamina somewhere else. And then same for Lars. It's given me like a nice sort of HP damage resistance, potency 4 sort of balance there. Now, I did buy this killing camp because my my energy sucks. Like it is hella garbage. So I don't know why I was holding my breath during the run. So we have potency versus non-boss is 2% because I've not upgraded it yet. I'll explain upgrades in another video, probably tomorrow. But yeah, it gave me a 2% buff against all the trash mobs, and then it gave me potency buff whenever I killed nearby enemies. Then obviously everyone should have this one equipped at the moment, unless they got a drop that was a different type 2 ring. So you can have a type 1 and you can have a type 2. Once again, I'll explain more in depth. But yeah, that 5% damage resistance there was nice. So yeah, I like to bounce between this one and my other one setup for sub palette, obviously. Like here I've got, enemy fell PP game because when I'm farming, I'll just, swap to tech to that way I've got like a shitload of PP regeneration. I can just spam Swift Smash with the Shockwave version. So basically I can just do that over and over and over. And when something dies, I get PP back. Great. And then obviously I've got the gradual pressing because down factor, elemental weakness goes hand in hand, and then get the potency buff from it as well. Gradual pressing to double down on that. So, I get more down factor anyway. And even more so if I'm tech to main class and I'm using shifted to band, yada yada yada. For add-on skills, I've not touched them since you last saw them. So, all level 20s, all here. And then I've just re-rolled to get, more HP or the better rolls on the sub effects. This is basically what I would suggest running for. This works for me. It works for a lot of people that have, asked for advice on add-on skills. So take a quick minute, read through, take a screenshot if you have to. Um, so yeah, there's that. And then for my photon arts, like Spiral Edge, more potency, got to charge it longer, give and take. Twisting Zapper, so I fully upgraded this. So when I do a photon arts and I get hit, so I'm triggering Hunter Avenger, I get 10% potency. But because I've fully upgraded, I don't get the penalty anymore. So that's handy. Caliber Streak is more for trash mobs. So like this is the shockwave version. So rather than doing like a whole bunch of hits times like over and over and over and over until it goes into the next stage and stage number 3, this is just like one big shockwave. Boom, done. Wipes everything in the way. It does like I think it works out for me personally about 70 to 85k damage, depending if I roll a crit or not. Relentless Cleave, it doesn't have customization yet, so bonk. That's all you have to say. Charge it up, get hit, bonk. Well, more, 200 bonk, 2 more, bonk. But yeah, uh, and then for techniques, Chloe, I cast Fireball. Need I say more? Uh, with my Zond, it's self like it's the only good option you can go for that. Just keep tapping it, and eventually you get a buff. Um, and obviously the chains where it goes out and hits other people, it does more damage, and then the compound technique gauge charges faster. Tech to main class only. And then Megid, the dark spell that I was using, explosion. I want to hit as many things as possible. So explosion. I like things that go boom. Other than that, that's my build. So pretty much just to play it plainly, just max the fuck out. It makes life so much easier just hitting as hard as humanly possible, because then it just requires less effort. It's one of the things I drill into a lot of new players, especially those that join my own alliance. 3 gears fine, but when you start doing the end game content, such as like the current LTQ, when you're doing urgent quests as a group, and it's like the big strong one, like 105, 110, whatever the current level to cap is. I don't want to be I don't want to be picking you up off the floor every 5 seconds, because that not only affects your damage per second, it affects my damage per second, and it just causes a lot of unneeded stress. So, guys, girls, please put some effort into your gear. Just don't meet me with, your face down and your ass in the air, because it's just going to make the activity take even longer, and it's just going to burn everyone out faster. So please put some effort into your gear, please. I don't mind if you go like, just budget build it, like, use the LCs and the DP augments, which you can get from Masquerader. I will be doing a new budget build soon enough, but we're basically being handed the best in slot augments. So there's no excuse why your gear should be lacking. They're getting handed to us on a plate with silver knife, fork, and spoon, and a glass of wine. Like, we're fine dining on this shit endlessly. So put the fashion to one side for like 5 minutes and just build some semi decent gear and just get rid of the freebie stuff. I mean, you're doing high level content. You should not be using level 65 weapons and armor when we're all breaking 500%, 520% potency, and you're there at 310. There's a big difference. But other than that, I will see you again soon, and stay beautiful, people.